Hey everybody, Brenda here again, wishing you all a happy day, fun crafting. In the last video we did an index card made like this, made out of an index card. Today I'm doing another index card and a little different style, but basically the base is the same. What I did is sort of what we did yesterday. I took a plain index card and some vintage photo and wet that down and drew the base front of my index card through the vintage photo. Like you see here, and this time, instead of using, last time we used some pink, I am using some Distress Oxide, but I'm not going to spray it on. I'm going to do it the same way. Just put it down, wet it, but this time I'm going to stir it around a little bit with a brush, get it all mixed up. And then I'm going to pat it in onto the card like we did with the pink the last time. I want just a little more, I think, down in the left-hand corner. There we go. Alrighty, now you should dry these with your heat gun in between, but I do not have a heat gun as of yet. I'm hoping to get one. So this is the base, and I have one here that is already dry. So I'm going to set this one aside, use this one. The next thing I do is add a little, let's see, I think the next thing I did was add a little, nope, that's not next. The next thing I did was do some stenciling, and this is a Tim Holtz stencil. I don't see a name on it, but it looks sort of like some petals. So I am going to add some of this with, I got a little bit of red acrylic paint, and because I don't want it so red, I'm going to add a little bit of white, titanium white to it, just to lighten it a little bit. And I'll use this to stir it up a little bit. Okay, and to put this on, I am using a makeup sponge. And I'm just going to dab a little on the sponge and dab right onto the stencil. Not going all over, just I want a little bit more up here. Okay, so basically just add it where you think you want the petals to go. So that was all we needed to do there. Do want to clean off my stencil, and you should clean off your stencil after every time because we want to keep it as good as new as we can. And I'm wiping off both sides. Okay. So then I took a little bit of the gesso. I got some liquid gesso here, and I've got some right here on my mat that I'm going to use, and I just use my finger and spread it around to certain places, wanting to give it a little bit of a foggy, dusty effect. Down here in the corner. A little more right through here. Okay. So we have our petals, we have our background. Now I am going to do a little bit of stamping with my script stamp, and I'm just placing it in certain areas around, and that's that. So then normally what I usually do is get a little bit of just the white paint. You can use white, you can use black, however you want, but I'm going to splatter some splatters on, and I just take my paintbrush and do a little splattering like this. There we go. So we have some little splatters. Now then, what I would normally do is let this dry really well, okay? And then I sew around the edges, and I would use, let's wipe up some of my splatters here. I put a little tab, and I just fold like something like this in half, like this. Ink it. And I would put that right over on this side, right here. And I would sew that all around. And then I took a little label, and you can use anything that you wish to use for a little label on the side there. I chose red to go with the, I don't like that one though. Let's see. Maybe I'll choose a different color this time, because I didn't like the way that mixed with the paint that's already up there. So I might use, that's way little. I might use something like that instead of having words on it. So I'd have something like that there. And after I laid that down, I took my watercolor pencil, went all the way around, and then took my little paintbrush and I wet that a little, and then I just went around the pencil mark with the paintbrush to smudge it around. So that is what I did there, and then, oh, also I put a little, just a little pop of color, but you can use anything. I just used something like this just to place underneath there for a little pop of color. So that is all I did. These are so adorable. Have fun, you know, use different stencils, different colors, and I will sew around this when it dries, and I hope you guys are willing to give it a try and see what you come up with. And I'd love to see some pictures in the comments if you wouldn't mind. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. So that is what I'm doing today. I hope you all have a wonderful crafting day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.